Acha, so I'll run through this. Take a trigonometry formula list. I expect you all to know a lot of this stuff. So I'm sure you already know that S is r theta, where r is radius of the circle, S is length of arc, and theta is the central angle. Right? So if we have a circle where we have the center O, so ये होगा theta. This is r. So length of arc is S. It's given by r theta. As simple as that. ये इतना important नहीं है. What you should know is, which I am sure you know, that 180 degree is as good as pi. ये तो सबको पता होता है. This is a very basic thing. Next, domain and range. I'm sure you know this. Sin theta, domain is real numbers, and range is going to be -1 to 1. The answers of sin theta are always between -1 and 1. Same for cos. Tan is all real numbers except 2n plus 1 pi by 2, because tan pi by 2 not defined hota hai. I'm sure you know this. So we exclude all those values where it is not defined. And range is all real numbers.
Sorry, left number.
Yeah. Cosec theta. Now cosec is not defined when sin theta is 0. अब sin theta कहाँ पे 0 होता है? So sin of 0 is 0, sin of pi is 0, sin of 2 pi is 0. So it is not defined at all n pi. So we exclude n pi. And here the range is going to be all real numbers except -1 and 1. Same for sec, but sec का ऐसा है that sec theta is going to be not defined when cos is 0, and cos 90 0 होता है. So pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2. So that is odd multiples of pi by 2. And cot will be not defined when tan will be 0. So that is n pi. And range is all real numbers. Next, moving ahead.
It's also.
Sure. See, next I expect you all to know this. Sin theta opposite upon hypotenuse, cos is adjacent upon hypotenuse, tan is opposite upon adjacent, the reciprocal ratios, then the square identities. Okay, these were there in 10th also. So we need
Yeah.
not take this in detail. Do you guys also know this? In which quadrant, which ratio is positive, negative? There are multiple sentences which people use. I personally use this: all silver teacups, right? And next, negative angle. Do you guys also know this? Sine of minus theta is minus sine theta, cos minus theta is cos theta. Except cos and sec, everything else is going to be negative.
Yeah.
Next, standard angle values पता होंगे आप लोगों को. Complementary angle formulas, you had this in 9th and 10th. Sin 90 minus theta is cos theta, cos 90 minus theta is sin theta, and same for tan cot and sec cosec. ये थोड़ा डिटेल में डिस्कस करते हैं. आई एम श्योर यू नो दिस, but we need to revise this. This is one of the most important
Wait,
formulas.
so can you
Yes,
repeat what
Muskan.
you said like abhi 2 minute mein, because I got
We
logged out.
we are just going through the trigo formulas, Muskan, and we just went through the 9th and 10th standard trigo formulas. These are the 9th and
Okay,
10th standard trigo
yeah.
formulas. Yeah, I'm just running through it, right? And जो आप लोग को नहीं पता होगा, that you can write, but otherwise you know 80% of it, I'm sure. So next, allied angle formula, and I'm sure you guys know this, but we need to do this. We'll revise this once क्योंकि ये बहुत important है. It is important, in fact, in a lot of calculus chapters also. Derivatives integration में ये सबसे ज़्यादा use होता है. So what is this formula about? Let's say if we have to find sine of 300. Now 300, we have to split 300 as addition or subtraction of two angles, guys, where one is a multiple of 90 degree. So I have taken 300 as 270 plus 30. Now you guys have to think and tell me, 270 degree, is it odd multiple of 90 or is it even multiple of 90?
Odd multiple.
Odd.
It is odd multiple because it is 90 into 3. ये 3 odd number है, so it is odd multiple of 90. Now the rule is, if it is odd multiple of 90, then sine becomes cos, cos becomes sine, tan cot, cot tan interchange होगा, sec cosec interchange होगा. So this is odd multiple, so sine will become cos. So we get cos of 30 degree. Achha, now you have to tell me 300 is in which quadrant?
Fourth quadrant.
So 300 आता है fourth quadrant में. In the fourth quadrant, Will it be positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative.
Positive.
नहीं नहीं
Oh,
नहीं. So
sorry,
Muskan,
yeah, sorry.
most students tell me positive because they think कि cos तो positive होता है ना. But the thing is, you have to always
But
focus on the
sign,
question.
ठीक
Yeah,
है, हाँ.
you have to always focus on the question. So it's sign which is negative. So it's minus cos 30, which is minus root 3 by 2. So we call this the allied angle formula. Next, compound angle formula. I'm sure you guys know this. So I'm running through this. अच्छा, ये पता है कि नहीं आप लोग को? अब ये हमने आरुष बोर्ड के लिस्ट में नहीं ऐड किया होगा, बट ये जे में काफी काम आता है. Sin of a plus b into sin of a minus b is sin square a minus sin square b, and same for cos. Cos of a plus b into cos of a minus b is cos square a minus sin square b. Have you
I
noted this down
uh,
already, Arush?
I know this, but I haven't written it down. Just right.
Great. You are writing this? All right, write it.
Yeah.
Factorization formula, I'm sure you guys know this. Sin c plus sin d,
Yeah.
sin c minus sin d, and same for cos. Then we have the
Uh,
defactorization formula. ये पता होगा सबको. Double angle, triple angle. I'm just rushing through this. ठीक है? I'm sure you guys already know
yeah.
this. Right,
Yeah.
Trisha, Muskan?
Yeah,
अच्छा, Trisha, Muskan, do you also know these superhit formulas? आरुष को तो मैंने ये लिस्ट में लिखवा दिया है. Do you guys know the superhit formula? These are versions of the double angle formula.
the double
But
angle,
very
yeah.
important. But very important. You have to learn this by heart. Super important. Especially in derivative integration kind of chapters. बहुत काम का है ये. अच्छा, देन तो यहां तक एक्चुअली बोर्ड के फॉर्मूलाज है. एंड नाउ द जेडब्ल्यू फॉर्मूलाज स्टार्ट. ठीक है, जो बोर्ड में नहीं है, जो नॉर्मल सीबीएसई बोर्ड सिलेबस में नहीं आते हैं. यहां से ये जो 18th है ना आरुष, यहां से सारे जेडब्ल्यू के फॉर्मूलाज है.
Sir.
तो ये हमने आरुष एक्चुअली आई थिंक कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर्स या सीक्वेंस एंड सीरीज में कोई एक सम आया था वेयर वी हैड डिस्कस दिस फॉर्मूला, इफ यू रिमेंबर. रिसेंटली हमने लास्ट वीक में ही
Sequence
किया
and
था ये.
series.
सीक्वेंस सीरीज आई
Sequence.
थिंक. राइट राइट. मुस्कान,
नहीं
त्रिशा, डू यू नो
complex
दिस?
numbers का
मे बी
complex
कहीं पे तो
numbers का.
आएगा. Muskan, Trisha, have you do you know this already, or do you
We
want to note this down?
have,
This is trigonometrical series का formula ना.
Correct, trigonometrical
First.
series. Right,
हाँ.
trigonometrical series. Correct. Other than that, Arush, you should
Sir,
also
एक बार
learn.
लिखना.
Acha, you're writing these formulas. Chalo,
Yeah.
start writing. Yeah, you can start writing. You'll have to learn these
Yes, sir.
values also. Sin 36, cos 36, sin 18. Minimum इतना learn तो करना पड़ेगा. Other than this, if we have expressions of this format, a cos theta plus b sin theta, then the maximum value is always root of a square plus b square, and minimum is negative of that. This is one of the formulas which is very helpful in many topics of calculus also. Whenever we come across
Sorry,
such
yeah.
expressions, a cos plus b sin, whenever we come across such expressions, Arush, तो इसका जो मैक्सिमम वैल्यू होता है ये होता है रूट ए स्क्वायर प्लस बी स्क्वायर. मिनिमम होता है माइनस रूट ए स्क्वायर प्लस बी स्क्वायर. इसका प्रूफ वैसे लेंदी है. इफ यू वांट वी कैन डिस्कस दैट. एंड वन ऑफ द
Yeah.
प्रूफ्स इज, मैं ये बता सकता हूँ, इफ यू नो दिस मैक्सिमा मिनिमा का प्रोसीजर ऑफ derivatives. That is one of the way of proving it. And then there is a trigonometrical approach also. Both the ways are there. But it's actually simple to remember. इसके प्रूफ से ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड करते नहीं है सिचुएशन. विल जस्ट स्टिक टू दिस. इसका प्रूफ है, काफ़ी लंबा डिस्कशन है. वी डोंट नीड टू गो देयर. बस इतना याद रख, इफ वी हैव a cos प्लस b sin, आई यूजुअली सजेस्ट आप लोग ऐसे याद रख सकते हो दैट cos स्क्वायर प्लस sin स्क्वायर का फॉर्मूला होता है 1. तो ऐसे याद रखो, cos स्क्वायर प्लस sin स्क्वायर है तो ये a स्क्वायर प्लस b स्क्वायर है, रूट ऑफ a स्क्वायर प्लस b स्क्वायर. एंड व्हेन वी ऐड c टू दैट आरुष, सो देन द मैक्सिमम वैल्यू में बस वो c ऐड कर देना और मिनिमम में वो c ऐड कर देना है, बस दैट्स इट. So maximum value is c plus root a square plus b square. Minimum is c minus root a square plus b square. As simple as that.
Yeah.
Did you already know this, Muskan?
is
Trisha?
it, no, but this
Oh.
is like for what?
So this is to find the maximum value of, let's say इसमें questions ऐसे आते हैं मुस्कान, एक simple example दे देता हूँ. What is the maximum value of 3 cos theta plus 4 sin theta, for example?
अच्छा.
So it's simple, root 3 square plus 4 square, something like this. Obviously it has wide applications in the sums. When we'll take JEE questions you will realize this. ये आता है JEE में बहुत बार. So we'll take some questions, उसमें समझेगा इसका application. Done? Shall we proceed? Have you guys written
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Achha, next, moving ahead to trigonometrical equations. We actually had this in 11th standard. I'm not sure if you have done this. So there are two types of solutions. One is principal solution. So principal solution basically means between 0 and 2 pi. So if it is between 0 to 2 pi, we call it principal solution. And then we have a list of formulas for general solution. These are the two types of solutions which we have. Do you guys know principal solution, or shall we discuss this in detail?
So
Discuss in detail. Chalo, kar leta. So Arush, Trisha, and Muskan, do you know this? Have you seen this somewhere, that if angle is in first quadrant we call it theta, if it is in second quadrant we take it as pi minus theta because it is lesser than pi. In third quadrant it is more than pi, so it will be pi plus theta, and in fourth quadrant it will be 2 pi minus theta because it is lesser than 2 pi. Have you seen this? Do you know
yeah.
these
Yes, sir.
formulas already? Great. चलो तो अब एक example लेते हैं. I'm not taking this same example. I'm taking another example. Let's say if we have cos theta equal to minus half. So we are finding principal solution, which means we are finding all those values of theta between 0 to 2 pi. मतलब first rotation. तो फर्स्ट रोटेशन में चारों क्वाड्रेंट्स काउंट होते हैं. You have to tell me cos theta is negative in which quadrants?
Second and third.
Second and third. So angle will be either in second quadrant or third quadrant. Asha, in the second
Yeah.
quadrant, how do we write the angle as?
Pi minus
Pi
Pi
minus
minus.
theta. Correct. So over here, the angle will be pi minus. Now this theta, guys, for that you have to tell me cos of which angle is half. You should know cos of which angle is half.
60.
60.
60
60.
matlab pi by 3. So it's going to be pi by 3. Pi minus pi by 3. तो ये फर्स्ट
Yeah.
आंसर आ गया इसका. थीटा इज इक्वल टू 2 pi by 3. अच्छा, in the third quadrant, you guys tell me, chalo, what will we do for the third quadrant now?
Pi plus 3.
So pi plus theta is pi by 3 over here. So
Yeah.
this is 4 pi by 3. This is how we find principal solution. You first decide the quadrant based on positive, negative, and then you have to use this formula. So write this, and if you're writing this formulas, if you didn't know this earlier, Arush, you also mentioned the example. One example के बिना समझेगा नहीं कुछ. Also mention one example. Next, guys, moving to general solution. See, I'll explain a bit. ठीक है, डिटेल में डिस्कस नहीं करेंगे. You have to learn it at the end, but मैं थोड़ा आप लोग को बता देता हूँ ये formulas का logic क्या है, so that it becomes easier to learn. So sin theta equal to 0. Can you guys tell me sine of which angle is 0?
0.
0.
Then after 0, pi, 2 pi,
Pi.
3 pi,
And pi.
4 pi, 5 pi. So do you agree with me, guys, that it's going to be n pi, where n can be
Yeah.
any integer? ठीक है. Next, moving to cos. चलो, cos of which angle is 0?
90.
Pi
9.
by 2, 3 pi by 2, then 5 pi by 2,
5 pi.
then 7 pi by 2,
7 pi by 2.
then 9 pi by 2. So do you agree with me that these are odd multiples of pi by 2?
Yeah.
अच्छा, if
Yeah.
these are odd multiples of pi by 2, odd multiples को हम ऐसे लिखते हैं 2n plus 1 से या 2n minus 1 से. Both works. Both
Oh.
represents odd. So that is why we have this formula theta equal to 2n plus 1 pi by 2. Next, tan is 0. See, tan is 0 when sine is 0. So same, n pi.
Yeah.
ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, मूविंग अहेड टू द नेक्स्ट वन. इसमें मैं फर्स्ट वाले का प्रूफ दिखा देता हूँ, बाकी दोनों का प्रोसीजर एकदम सेम है. तो फर्स्ट वाला हम लोग प्रूव करेंगे. साइन थीटा इक्वल टू साइन अल्फा का जो फॉर्मूला है, लेट्स सी हाउ इज दिस फॉर्मूला वैलिड. सो व्हाट विल डू इज, सी साइन थीटा इक्वल टू साइन अल्फा है. आई एम टेकिंग साइन अल्फा ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड. So Arush, Trisha, Muskan, when we take sin alpha on the left hand side, what will we get?
Sin theta minus 7.
Chalo, we'll get sin theta minus sin alpha is 0. Now this looks like one of the trigonometry formulas. Which trigonometry formula does this look like?
Sin C minus sin D.
Sin C minus sin D. What is sin C minus sin D formula?
2 cos C plus D by 2.
So this is
Sin
2
C
cos theta plus alpha by 2 sin theta
sin
minus
theta minus
alpha
alpha
by
by
2, and that is equal to 0. So from here we'll get two parts. We'll get cos of theta plus alpha by 2 is equal to 0, or we'll get sine of theta minus alpha by 2 is equal to 0. Now see, cos is 0 when this angle theta plus alpha by 2 is odd multiple of pi by 2,
Yeah.
and sine is 0 when theta minus alpha by 2, this angle, is m times pi. I'm just using a different variable. Instead of n, I'm taking m. So when we cut this 2, over here we'll get theta is equal to 2n plus 1 pi minus alpha. Are you guys following this?
Yeah.
And from here we will get theta is equal to 2m pi plus alpha. These are the two answers which we are getting correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Now do you guys agree with me? 2n plus 1 means odd,
Uh,
and 2m means even.
uh,
तो अभी सीन ये है ना, ये दोनों आंसर्स को है ना हमने कंबाइन कर दिया है, एंड द कंबाइंड आंसर इज दिस. Now you will be wondering कि ये combined answer कैसे हुआ. So now understand this carefully. If this n is an odd number, then this is odd number into pi, correct? Odd number into pi. Now what is minus 1 raised to odd number, guys?
minus 1.
और यहाँ पे
-1.
माइनस अल्फा है. Can you see that? We have minus alpha
Yeah.
over here. चलो, so this
हाँ.
makes sense. अच्छा, if n is even number, what is minus 1 raised to even number?
1.
तो देखो प्लस अल्फा है. So the combined form of these two formulas is the one which we have written, n pi plus minus 1 to the power n alpha.
Yeah.
ठीक है, डन. And the proof is same for cos and tan. तो cos में same करते हैं हम. We take cos alpha there, so cos theta minus cos alpha is 0, then cos c minus cos d, and same thing. Tan में है ना कैसा है? When we take tan alpha on the left, we'll have to first convert tan to sin and cos. फिर LCM लेके पूरा same procedure. ठीक है, are you guys following this? Shall we proceed?
Yeah. I need to that.
या एंड साइन स्क्वायर थीटा इक्वल टू साइन स्क्वायर अल्फा का भी प्रूफ एकदम सेम है. उसमें क्या होता है, हम लेफ्ट में लेते हैं और लेफ्ट में लेके वो स्क्वायर हो जाएगा. इट विल बिकम ए स्क्वायर माइनस बी स्क्वायर फॉर्मूला, एंड देन यू सॉल्व इट. हाँ, यू कैन राइट दिस आरुष. Alright guys, the next thing that we have a type of trigonometrical equation. So if we have a question of this format, a cos theta plus b sin theta equal to c, then this is basically the algorithm of solving such questions. But see, algorithms can be a little complicated at times. इसमें है ना बहुत सारा डिटेल है. लेट्स डू वन थिंग, साथ में एक एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं. तो स्टेप बाय स्टेप हम लोग एग्जांपल भी सॉल्व करेंगे और एल्गोरिदम भी देखेंगे, तो आप लोग को एकदम क्लियर हो जाएगा. एंड यू माइट हैव कम अक्रॉस सच क्वेश्चंस. लेट्स से इफ वी हैव अ क्वेश्चन √3 cos थीटा प्लस sin थीटा इक्वल टू √2 ले लेते हैं. चलो, we have to solve this equation. We have to find the general solution of this equation. ठीक है, this is the question. So let's if suppose we don't know this algorithm, let's think about this normally. We have √3 in this question, guys, and we have cos and sin. So is there any relation between √3 cos sin? Is there any relation that strikes your head?
Did you say √3?
√3,
Sin upon
correct.
cos is √3.
Sorry, what Trisha?
Sin upon cos tan theta √3 ना, तो वो
नहीं
काउंट कर
नहीं,
सकते हैं क्या?
वैसे नहीं. tan √3 नहीं, sin और cos का डायरेक्ट रिलेशन है कोई √3 के साथ? So do you guys agree with me that sin and cos are related with √3 by 2, if not √3, right?
Yeah.
So let's do one
Yeah.
thing. Let us create √3 by 2. How will we create √3 by 2? I'll just divide by 2. everywhere. Just divide by 2. Divide by 2. अब है ना, यहाँ पे देखो, यहाँ पे आप लोगों को दिख रहा है ये c by r दिख रहा है, तो
Uh,
इसका है ना रीजन ये है, ये r क्या है, what have they said in the algorithm, what is r? r is root a square plus b square. यहाँ पे a √3 है, यहाँ पे b 1 है. Let's do some rough work. So r is equal to root of √3 square plus 1 square. So what will we get? We'll get root of 3 plus 1, which is equal to root of 4, which is equal to 2. तो जो
uh,
मैं यहाँ पे बोल रहा था, वी हैव टू डिवाइड बाय 2, तो ये उसका एक्चुअल एल्गोरिथम है. But if you have just basic common sense ki √3/2 is a value of sin and cos, you can directly do that. Are you guys with me? Are you following this? ये
yeah,
एल्गोरिदम
yeah.
एक्चुअली लर्न करने की इतनी भी जरूरत नहीं है. नॉर्मली हम ये सम कर सकते हैं, बस वो क्लिक होना चाहिए. अदरवाइज यू जस्ट
Uh,
लर्न द एल्गोरिदम एंड यू कैन फॉलो दिस. वहां से आप आर का वैल्यू फाइंड करो और उससे डिवाइड कर दो. सो इधर यू जस्ट लर्न द एल्गोरिदम और एल्स यू शुड बी स्मार्ट इनफ एंड दिस शुड click. Now what to do? So √3/2, guys, what do we know about √3/2? We can write that as cos of 30 degree pi by 6. This is cos of theta. Half जो है, half is sine of 30 degree, which is pi by 6. This is sine of theta. अच्छा, √2/2 को ना rationalize कर देते हैं ऐसा, ऊपर नीचे √2. So do you guys agree with me? This will become 1 upon √2. अच्छा, left hand side देखो जरा. Do you recognize this is one of the trigonometry formulas, the left hand side? Come on guys, this is easy. Which formula is this? The
I
left hand
think
side.
so. Cos.
So it's cos of pi by 6 minus theta, the compound angle formula, and that
Yeah.
is equal to 1 by √2 hota hai cos 45, which is pi by 4. Do you guys agree with me? Now this looks like cos theta equal to cos alpha wala formula, the general
Uh,
solution formula which we have just seen, this formula.
yeah.
So we can use that and complete the sum. So we will get pi by 6 minus theta is equal to 2n pi plus minus alpha pi by 4. तो इसमें दो केस होंगे आरुष, एक प्लस लेके एक माइनस लेके, एंड देन विल गेट द टू आंसर्स. That's how it works. Are you guys writing this or shall we proceed?
Yeah.
Writing this? Write it.